Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahara Kakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, many blessings and salutations, and to the hopeful elect, the house of David, the Bayaf Dawadah, for whom these epistles are written for these last days. Shalom to the elect. More prophecy today. Just doing some reading, skimming. Looking at things, as the weather is frightfully cold. We're in the teens, but whatever, right? Still, we go into the lessons. Prophecy is not gonna wait for no one, and we're gonna continue to move forward. This world is marching towards a disastrous end for the rulership. Does not mean that the entire earth is going to implode. That is not true. Let's get that out there. The earth will still be here, but it just will be under new management. Okay? That's all that's going to happen. So for all of you that look at videos like this and think that the entire world is going to end, you're partly right. The world that you know will end, but not the entire earth. Okay? It's just going to be under new management. Okay, the so-called white man will be brought out power. Okay, he will be reduced back to what he was created to be anyway, which is a servant. Okay, a slave and a servant. Okay, and he cannot spew his lies anymore. But before we get there, we got to go through the birth pains. Okay, before the baby is had. Before the baby comes, which it represents, the baby represents the end of this age. Okay. But there's going to be birth pains that before we get there. Those birth pains are also known as prophecies. And those prophecies are going to happen, whether you want them to happen or not, whether you travel to Davos and sit in and try to scold them on the direction they're going. It's not going to stop the prophecies. You can't stop this. Okay. If you're trying to stop the prophecies, you're trying to stop something much bigger than you. And that is a task that you're not created for. Okay. So those of you that have soft hearts and want to heal the world, the only way the world is going to be healed is through the destruction of this world, as you know, as the infrastructure, as you know. The Edomites must come out of power. Not maybe, not should they must come out of power. And the only way this earth is going to go back into the blissfulness, all right, that it was created to be, the garden, is that the Edomites are removed from the power seat. Okay, so that's why I brought up this, and we're measuring the times diligently. So those of you that are trying to stop, you're trying to hold on to this world as long as you can, you are doing a disservice to yourself and those who listen to you. Okay, this is from RT News. It says doomsday clock moved closer to midnight. So anybody who understands the doomsday clock, which they're going to go into in the article, you understand that times are ticking. Okay, and Esau knows times are ticking, so he's got to get some shit going. I'm going to play a video. Fair use, fair use, fair use. YouTube, fair use. All right, and let's get into it. It says the Ukraine conflict and last summer's U.S. and Israel attack on Iran have moved humanity closer to disaster. Nuclear scientists have warned. As you can see, this is dated from today. Okay, it says humanity is closer to a global catastrophe. Interesting wording. A global catastrophe. Now, from their point of view, they're looking at it as the end of civilization or humanity altogether. We're looking at it from the lens of the Bible. The Bible spoke of these things. Okay, it says humanity is closer to global catastrophe than ever. A leading group of atomic scientists have said. The international community is facing a wide range of threats, from the full-blown arms race to climate change and even AI-designed pathogens, the group warned on Tuesday. It says the bulletin of the atomic scientists adjusted its doomsday clock to 85 seconds to midnight, moving it 5 seconds forward to reflect the group's assessment of the growing danger. The clock is updated each January. It ain't going back, y'all. Time's moving forward. Prophecy upon prophecy upon prophecy. Okay? And that's what we're here for. Okay? This is 2 Esdras 9:1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently when thou seest the part. So I can read again. 2 Esdras 9:1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou well understand that the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. These events are not happenstances. Okay, these were orchestrated from the very beginning. Okay, they were supposed to happen exactly the way they're happening. Okay, it says, therefore, when thou shalt see, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. What are you seeing right now? People are uprising up in Minnesota. Oh, hell, all across the world, really. But right now, what's in the news cycle? Minnesota, the ice raids. Okay, people, hey, listen, them Edomites are getting attacked out there. Okay, it ain't just Jake. It ain't just the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American anymore. It's them Edomites out there too. So they you know, what's going to happen? Ultimately, you know what's going to happen. All hell's going to break loose. Okay. Scripture says, pray not your flight be in winter, man. Well, we're in the dead of it. It says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Bingo. Bingo. These prophecies are happening. Whether you're trying to go to Davos and stop it, you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to stop what Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai has planned. That's a dubious task in itself. If the Lord felt that you was getting a little too close, he'd just stop you in your sleep. It just, cut off oxygen in your sleep and send you back to spirit world. That's how powerful the Most High is. Okay? Just know who you're fighting against. All you so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans that want to stop prophecy and keep America around, you're not going to be able to stop what's happening. You're not going to be able to stop the chip coming. You're not going to be able to stop nothing. All you can do is talk shit. It's all you can do. You can't do anything else. You will not be able to stop Yahweh Shemel Shai under no circumstances. Okay? Let's read that last part again. 2 Esdras 9:4. It says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that there were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. That's what women like to say. I'm manifesting I'm going to manifest a man in my life. I'm going to manifest good things, good vibes. Well, the Lord is manifesting on a global scale that there's going to be all fucking hell breaking loose out here. And those that are in power right now, they're going to retreat into their bunkers. Okay. And once you retreat into your bunkers, the Lord is going to take his fishermen who are out on the highways and hedges right now that are fishermen of men, right? Of the elect, fishermen for the elect. Okay. He's going to take those same fishermen and he's going to turn them into hunters. Okay. Sounds far-fetched, I know. Please understand that everything I'm saying is backed up by scriptures, though, right? Let's prove that. They might not believe me. Let's prove that. Okay? Same guys that you see on the highways and hedges with the cardboard signs, okay, yelling and screaming, as you would say, with the Bible in their hands, cursing, so-called cursing, right? Well, in some cases, in many cases, they are cursing you. Hey, how about Shemal Shai? Hey, Shalak Rayam. All right. Masha Payim. Okay. Ayab Yanawa. Okay. To the enemies of the Lord, may the Yahweh Shemal Shai destroy you. Okay. I don't care who you are. If you're an enemy to the throne, you're an enemy unto me. We defend the throne. Okay, so Yahweh Shemal Shai is making it very known who's his children and who ain't. Okay, this is Jeremiah 6. This is Jeremiah 16:16. It says, "Behold, I will send from many fishers." Okay, saith the Lord Yahweh, and they shall fish them. Talking about the elect. Okay, it says, "And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain," which the mountains represents the governments. Like America is a representative of a mountain. I can get that scripture for you as well. Okay, those mountains are talking about governments. So when they go to the WEF in Davos, Switzerland, right? Which Davos means David. But anyway, you're going to Davos, you're meeting, and you're having your meetings or whatever, speaking about how the world should progress. Interesting. It says, "Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill." Those hills also represent smaller governments. It says, "and out of the holes of the rocks." So even if you dig holes into the earth, okay, build your bunkers, your $1 million bunkers where you got 20 years, 25 years of food supply, water, okay, gyms, okay, all you got the state of the art things. It won't fucking matter, because those very same men are going to, that you see on the highways and hedges. All right, you point your finger at them, you laugh. Look at these crazy guys. Those are going to be the same guys that are going to be hunting you. Okay, the Lord's going to put spiritual power on them, and they're going to come looking for you. Okay? Times are ticking. All right? Times are ticking, and Esau knows it. Esau knows his time is almost up. It says, the latest adjustment was prompted, back in the article, the latest adjustment was prompted by what the group called increasingly aggressive, adversarial, and nationalistic policies of major powers that have turned the competition between them into a full-blown arms race. Don't get this twisted now. All of them want the same thing. They all want the NWO. It's just they want to rearrange the seats. They want America from the top, cut off from the top. America is fighting for their position to stay number one. It's really the elite playing both sides, really. But they're doing it for the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemal Shai. They think they're doing it for Satan. I had somebody come on my comment board and say, how's the devil this powerful? Isn't God in charge? Yes, he's in charge. Absolutely, he's in charge. Everything that you're seeing right now is because Yahweh Shemal Shai wants this. Let's get out of that fable of the devil coming up against the Most High. Because there's two types of devils. You got the spiritual demon Satan, right? That's in the spirit world that works for the Most High. He's perfectly in line with everything that's going on right now. And then you got the devil who is a part of the earth, who walks in the flesh. He is the Edomite. Okay. Kill Gates, Klaus Schwab, those are Edomites. Okay. Not reptilians. Get that fucking shit out of y'all mind, bro. They put one pants on at a time, just like you. They just happen to be of the evil seed. That's all. That's all. Why are we making this much harder than it should be? Because you want to believe that the world is ruled by people that or by some type of alien race. No. They're just hard-headed children the Most High made to make them, that he created them to be hard-headed and to do the shit that they're doing. All right. It says the latest adjustment was prompted. Well, I already read that. It says conflicts involving nuclear powers also set the negative trends of the past year. The scientist said, mentioning the continued hostilities in Ukraine, as well as the U.S. and Israeli attacks on Iran among sources of instability. The group also criticized U.S. plans to develop a Golden Dome missile defense system advocated by President Donald Trump. Let me tell you something. It's not going to work. You're going to spend billions of dollars for something that's not going to work. You ain't going to... Too many scriptures to explain to you. It's not going to work. Okay? And then on top of that, Esau knows his time is short. He knows. Okay? The Lord said he's going to send for many fishermen. So there's going to be a time when we're going to stop teaching and we're going to start hunting. Okay? Jeremiah 16:17, it says, for mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face. Neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. The Lord has eyes in every place you think they aren't existing. You got a mole right inside. Hey, the Lord looking from within your flesh. He can peek into your flesh. Yahweh name means he exists. He's everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. He's in every meeting. He's in your secret societies. He knows what you do, how you think. He knows what your next move is. He knows what you're going to say before you say it, before the thought even came to your mind. He knows what you're going to eat 2 days from now, if you're going to make it to those 2 days. He knows everything. That's the type of power you're going up against. You dumbass Edomites, you think you're going to win. You are dumb. This battle was already decided thousands of years ago. Hell, from the beginning. This battle was already decided. It was decided from the beginning. You're fighting a losing war. And that's why we go on the highways and hedges and say it proudly to your face what you're going to do. Okay? It says, for mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. And first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land, to Israelis. They have filled mine inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. These are things that are brought up as charges on you Edomites and the rest of you other nations, but led by the Edomites. Okay? You have committed crimes against humanity, and you're continuously to do it now. Now your stupid meetings, you think you're going to somehow get out of this because you're having a stupid meeting? There's no way out of this. You will not get out of this. You will pay for your crimes. Okay? Simple as that. Okay? Because you must understand that the Lord put you in this power seat. Not, you didn't do anything. The so-called white man, as we call him today, but his actual seed line goes back to Esau and the Edomites. Okay. This is Daniel 4:17. Just so you understand, from the beginning, this was all traced. It says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and by the demand of the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High. Let me read that again. Daniel 4:17, it says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, which is the prophets, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. Is this not a kingdom of men right now? Is not America ruled as a kingdom by men right now? As some women would say, the patriarchy. Listen, you can holler that patriarchy bullshit all you want. It's not going to matter. We will never, okay? We will never go into a system of matriarchy. That's never going to happen. All you ladies that listen to videos, okay? Hopefully there's some of you that have some sense. There will never be a kingdom worldwide ruled by matriarchy. Technically, we are ruled by a matriarchy right now. Okay, technically. It just happens to be that men are the ones that are bitches. Okay, that female spirit. Okay. If you didn't know what I'm talking about, Esau's a bitch. But anyway, so he's being ruled over by the Most High. The Most High makes the decisions. You don't get to say a goddamn thing. Your arms are not long enough to reach with the Most High. Okay? Let's read that again. Daniel 4:17, it says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, which are the prophets, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the basis of men. That's talking about you Edomites, so-called white people. So-called. Some of you are Israelites. There are some Israelites that are walking around. We always go into that. But for the majority, Edomites, you're all going into slavery and you will all be destroyed. There will not be another Edomite walking this earth after a certain period of time. All right. This is thus saith the Bible. All right. And talking about those mountains that the Lord said he's going to destroy. The main mountain he wants to destroy, Slakia. The main mountain he wants to destroy is the Edomites. A lot of those characters out in Davos are going to go run to bunkers and run and try to hide. But the Lord said there's none hid from his face. You can run, but you can't hide. This is Ezekiel 35:1. It says, moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against the Mount Seir, against Mount Seir. Isn't that in Petra? Didn't the Edomites? Oh, yeah, the Edomites. He's talking to the Edomites. But who's the top Edomites on the earth right now? It's the American Edomites. You know them as so-called white people today, but they are the top Edomites on the earth. Okay. It says, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. That's what we're doing. This is this lesson right here. Many other lessons. We're prophesying against you. You might believe that, I don't see America in the Bible. Well, it's not for you to see it. I can see it. Other brothers and sisters can see it. But just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Anyway, it says, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord Yahweh shall thy power. Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. He's talking about you, American Edomites. He's against you. The one who created you, is against you. So all those cool things you get to do with your military, you better ante up. You better ante up. The Lord coming for you. He wants to smoke. He wants to see all that cool tech you created. Okay. He wants that sound cannon. He wants those things. He wants to see if that actually works against them, which he won't. But he wants you to try though. Just like he hardened the heart of Pharaoh. Huh? He hardened the heart of Pharaoh. Pharaoh thought he was the shit and he wanted to test his mettle. The Lord allowed him. We see how Pharaoh ended up. And you're the next in line. Okay. It says, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shemashah power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. That lines up with Malachi 1 and 3 as well, and 4. He said that you were going to be desolate. So he's going to devour you with destruction. But he was going to do it systematically. He's not going to do it all in one fell swoop. That's going to be the cherry on top when he sends them nukes at you. But he's going to allow you to think you're winning. How? Because your plan right now is to try to chip the entire world. Because that'd be the quickest way to get rid of all Israelites, right? See, if you chip the entire world, you can look from inside. At least that's what your dumbass plan is supposed to represent, right? You can look with inside and say, oh, that's an Israelite. Get rid of him. And this is proof that Esau knows that the Israelites may come in every nation or come in every nation, right? Even those are separate nations, right? Like you got Moabites, you got Ammonites, you got Elamites, Edomites, the Israelites, okay? The Japhites. But there's a little bit of Israel in each one. But he can't see it because it's on the outside. He needs to get on the inside. You get what I'm saying? He needs to get on the inside to understand who you are. That way he can cut your chip off. That's the best way he can think of to get rid of the Israelites. And for the rest of you, he's just going to send them nukes. He ain't going to care because you took the chip. It ain't going to matter. By the way, who do you think he's working for? Huh? It says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate. It says, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Right. You're going to know in that day. Right now, you seem to bump your head and think that you somehow and your great wisdom and power came into power. No. You were nothing more than a big old switch. When your grandma tell you to go get that switch off that tree, you are nothing but a race full of switches. That's all. The Lord used you as a weapon to whip his children into shape, which his children are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American and Israelite foreigners who may look like one of the nations of the other nations that are not Israelites, but their forefather goes back to one of the 12 tribes. All you were created for was to be a gigantic switch, a belt. That's what the Edomite race is made for, just to be a gigantic belt. Now Esau done took it to the next level. Esau wants to chip the entire world, man. He wants to put you on that grid so he knows who you are. He wants to be the Most High. Okay? It says, because thou hast perpetual hatred and shed the blood of the children of Israel. You're definitely doing that right now. And you've been doing that since technically the beginning. It says, by the force of the sword, which that blessing of the sword came during the time of Edom or Esau. Okay, begging his father Isaac for a blessing. And the blessing was in the form of the sword ruling over the entire earth, which he's doing right now as the Roman Empire. I thought that was pretty funny. I was watching some commentary on this Blake Lively situation and Taylor Swift, and they referred to themselves as the Roman Empire. That's ding, 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 ding. Those are a couple of Edomites that know who they are. Or at least they know they have some understanding of where their forefathers come from. Even in subconsciously, they know. even if they don't know outwardly. A couple of Edomites that know that, hey, we should think like the Roman Empire. Well, let me finish that sentence for you. How did the Roman Empire end up? I'm talking about the Western Roman Empire, not the Holy Roman Empire, right? Well, this is the second leg of the Roman Empire now in the form of America, and it's going to go out even worse than the first one, okay? It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, which is now, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Oh, there's that time again. Measure thy time by diligently within itself. Okay. These are things that we're commanded to do. Right? These are things that we're commanded to do, right? It says, back in the article, it says, saying that it's likely to fuel a new space-based arms race. It says, they also warned that the Russian-American New START treaty is about to expire, leaving Moscow and Washington without any arms control agreements, and urged both nations to resume dialogue about limiting their nuclear arsenal. And that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I'm here to tell you that's not going to happen. OK, it says the scientists also stated that the international response to the climate emergency has gone from wholly insufficient to profoundly destructive and accused the U.S. administration of declaring war on renewable energy for that oil. That's why Maduro got snatched up. It says the group also named some of the more exotic reasons to worry, such as so-called mirror life, cells comprised of chemically synthesized molecules that are mirror images of those found in nature, such as organisms could get out of control, wiping out humanity and disrupting all life on Earth. They warned. Now listen. They're partly right. Okay, they're partly right. The part that they're not right about is that the Israelites will still come out on top. That's why the elite had movies greenlit like The Planet of the Apes. They're trying to make fun of so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans ruling the entire earth. But at least they do know, though, it's not going to be the Planet of the Apes, though. We're going to throw all you fucking Edomites into cages. Okay? Ain't no fucking way out of this. You all going into captivity. You're all going into slavery. And not only do you deserve it, you fucking need it for your own good. Okay? It says the doomsday clock was moved forward 10 seconds in 2023 and by just 1 second in 2025. So, man, this thing is moving fast. And therefore, if it's moving fast, then Esau knows he ain't got that much time. Okay? So he got to get this ball rolling. This is Revelation 12:12. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power. Right? That's us measuring the times. It says, and the power of his Hamashiach, which is Christ, as the world will call him Christ, but his actual name is Yahweh Shai. The son of Yahweh, his name is Yahweh Shai. Okay? For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them day and night. So he's accusing us of being sin-filled, rage-filled. You know, he always, whenever he wants to win an argument, he'll say Chicago. That's his key word, Chicago. Like other nations and other races of people don't live there. Only the so-called blacks and Latinos and Native Americans. But that's fine. You can do that. That's fine. You can accuse us. Does not mean that the Lord is going to hear you out. Revelation 12:12, it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Now he's talking about those of you that are not in this truth. All right. You're not in that understanding of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shemal Shai. You're dwelling in this world. You're living in this world, wanting this world to succeed, and you're not going to succeed. You're fighting against something way bigger than you. You're trying to stop prophecy. That is insane. You're not going to be able to stop Yahweh. What if we just come together? Okay. Well, that's what the chip is going to be for. So you're going to take the chip, huh? Man, you're going to be doubly destroyed. Okay. It says, and listen, those of you that watch our videos, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and on down to the lowest man within GMS and to the men that are affiliate or under the same doctrine. Sound of my voice, do not take that goddamn chip under no circumstances. I don't care what they do. Don't take that chip. Okay. It says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Time's ticking. Doomsday clock just moved up. I believe 8 seconds, I think it said. Or 15 seconds or something like that. But you get my drift. Things are moving fast. Time's almost up. Time to be playing around is done away with. Measured out the time diligently in itself. We're going to play a video. I pray that this lesson was edifying. Fair use, fair use, fair use, YouTube. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Fair use, Rumble. Fair use.
Well, it will definitely happen. I was talking about 6G earlier, which is around 2030. I would say that by then, definitely the smartphone as we know it today will not anymore be the usual kind of the most common interface. Wow. Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies.
And one of the important statements we, I think, made at our most recent developers conference is that we believe that one of the big advantages of augmented reality is actually solving problems here on Earth. And it will be things like having glasses and being able to translate as you speak with glasses. And those are very
Holograms will be very, very high quality in the era of 6G. I've already seen 5G based hologram demonstrations. They already work, but then with the next generation technology, I mean, we could be having these meetings so that in reality we would be sitting in different parts of the world.
All right, well, I've enjoyed seeing you for the last time I'll ever see you in person. I look forward to seeing you in the next Davos. Thank you very much to our amazing panelists and a wonderful conversation.
If you didn't own gold in your retirement portfolio over the last 5 years, you missed one of the biggest wealth surges.
Mix cinnamon with oats. Gym trainers don't want you to know this, because many say it could help you lose.
6G will liberate human potential. It will transform the way we live, the way we work, connecting human worlds, physical worlds with digital worlds. And that will unleash new human possibilities. We are proud to say that Bell Labs has actually done many pioneering innovations in the field of communications. The laser was invented here, the cellular network, the transistor, actually the basis of AI was laid here. And this proud history that has led to also Nobel Prizes and Turing Awards. And so we are already preparing for the 6G era. We actually already started with the research on 6G 2 years ago. You want to be 10 years ahead of the game before the commercial deployment. You cannot do this alone. You need the partners. We are now leading the very first flagship project for 6G, EXA-X. If you think of what the different generations of networks enable, 2G and 3G unleashed the potential of human mobility and connectivity. 4G unleashed the potential of information and social engagement with social media. 5G unlocked the potential of machines and sensing. And so, what will 6G unleash? It will enable perfect knowledge of human world.
And that's beautiful. Because what did the Bible tell us about 6? What did the Bible tell us about 6? Revelation 13:16, it says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. Let me start at 15. Revelation 13:15, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And it's talking about an actual, not an imprint. It's talking about actually cutting into the skin and inserting something. Verse 17, it says, and that no man might buy or sell. So basically, you're going to have something inside of you that's going to be able to control payments, how you live your life, how you're going to be able to pay your rent. Okay, whether you're going to be able to keep a job or not. How you get your payments. When you go to the hospital, how are they going to be able to know if you have insurance or not? It's going to be able to tell you it's going to be able to tell them everything they need to know about you from the inside. Okay. It says, save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. This is wisdom. Listen up. It says, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. Okay. It says, and his number is 666. 666. And now what are we going to? We're going to 6G, the very end of this kingdom.
Connecting us with the digital world. 6G will enable holographic communication. It will be as if I'm teleported to your environment, like working on the same design, the same object, as if we are in the same room. 6G will enable us to offload mundane tasks from humans, things that machines do better, mental tasks, quality checks, to really unleash things that humans are best at. Solving creative problems, strategic thinking. With 6G terahertz, we can not only do communication, but also use it as a sensing capability and do things that, for instance, cameras cannot do. See things around the corner. If you think of the billions of devices that are going to be connected, the 6G network needs to bring reliable services, high performance, do it in a sustainable way, and then also in a secure way. We always like to anticipate future human needs, understand real hard problems and solving them in creative and disruptive ways. Our ambition comes with real game-changing innovations that define the future of communications.
So yeah, that's the end of the presentation. Hey man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, man, I really, really hope that this lesson was edifying, because the doomsday clock is ticking. Okay? The doomsday clock is ticking, man. Moving it 5 seconds forward. So it's moved 5 seconds forward towards midnight. You see the image there. It's almost up, man. And for the believers and seers of this word, of the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, the blood that is covering those of you that are out in the earth listening to messages like this, may the Heavenly Father continue to protect you in these last days, man. You and your family, those of you that are of the elect, the house of David, the Bayat that would die, for whom these epistles are written for these last days. Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shema Shai, Ba'ashem, Muharakar Kadash. Shalom to the elect.